Hi everyone, welcome to Vatican City, the world's smallest country. Right now we are here at St. Peter's Square and behind me is St. Peter's Basilica. To enter is for free, but if you want to go to the dome, then you have two options. In front of St. Peter's Basilica is a statue. That is St. Peter himself. So St. Peter's Basilica is named after the saint here. So you have two types of tickets. If you want to go and see the dome, here at the St. Peter's Basilica. And if you want to go up and see the dome via an elevator, it's 15 euros per person. But if you just want to walk up the steps, it's 10 euros per person. So you decide. Although you come up the lifts or the stairs, you still have to make your way to get closer to the dome. Oh, look at this from the inside. I didn't expect this. Actual mosaic. You see each stone. So right now, we've seen the upper part, but now we're going directly to as close to the dome as possible. So we've made it to the top of the St. Peter's Basilica, the dome of the St. Peter's Basilica. And as you can see, this is the actual dome, which is silver grayish color. And here is the main square. Although it's a circle, they call it the main square of the Vatican, which is the world's smallest country. And it took an entire journey of coming up an elevator, many small, many narrow steps to get up to this dome. But the view that you get from here, not just of the Vatican City, but also of Rome, is absolutely superb. And what I love about Rome is that they've kept its heritage and its legacy alive by keeping it as traditional as possible and not building tall, ugly, mundane buildings that you see in most cities in the world now. It looks like you've come into the past and stepped into the past. Okay, so when you come over here, you can go 360. So I'm just going to show you a little bit. And as you go 360, you get different views you can view different areas of Rome, Vatican City itself. We're in the middle of February, but the sun is blazing today. And you can see how things are designed over here. You've got these Roman numbers, numerics. Just to give an idea, like you can just go around 360, which is quite cool. So you've got the main St. Peter's Square over here. Yeah, it's time to go down. Look how narrow this pathway is to go down. And there's a lot of steps to get down as well. Look at that. Only space for one person. Look how narrow this is to get down. It's like a few hundred steps, only space for one person at a time. And quite cool. It's part of the experience, actually. Not just to see the dome, but to come through this narrow pathway that leads you down, and also that leads you up initially when you're going up to the dome. I've never been to something quite like this before. Now you've got some spiral steps here, but better than the ones that we used initially to get down. So now, after all that, it's time for food and drink. Let's go get some. Okay, we've made it out. That was some experience. Really, really impressive. And I saw a lot of people exhausted with the steps that they have to take. So you get a ticket that is for 15 euros, which gets you to go on an elevator. But if you get a 10 euro ticket, you have to walk up 500 plus steps. And people were struggling with the steps that comes after the elevator. So if you're someone that struggles, just get the elevator tickets. Okay, so right now we are here at St. Peter's Basilica, which is the main church in the whole of the Catholic world. Now, the dome of St. Peter's Basilica is up there, and you'll see a golden ball right at the very top. That is considered the greatest golden apple or golden ball in the whole of the Christian world. Now, you'll find this in many of the important churches, in the most important palaces as well. And this signifies global dominance. I want to mention a little history about this golden ball over here. This golden ball used to be in Eastern Rome, which is previously called Constantinople. Today it's called Istanbul. And Eastern Rome was in Constantinople, where Istanbul is today. Western Rome, the center of that is Rome over here. This golden ball was in the hands of a statue, and the statue was of someone called Justinian. Justinian's statue was in front of the Hagia Sophia, which is called the Hagia Sophia today. And in 1453, the Ottoman Sultan, the 7th Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, Sultan Mehmed II, who is also known as Fatih Sultan Mehmed, Fatih meaning the conqueror, when he bombarded Constantinople on the 6th of April, the people of Constantinople became afraid, because it was prophesied in the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Muslims shall conquer Constantinople. So what they did was they took this golden ball, which was in the hand of Justinian, and they brought it over here to Rome. Now, this church was built afterwards, some decades after the conquest of Constantinople on the 29th of May, 1453, which ended the Eastern Roman Empire and which ended the Roman Empire, which is the longest reigning empire in history. And it's placed now on the highest point of this copper dome on top of the St. Peter's Basilica, which is the most significant, most important church in the whole of Catholicism, in the whole of Italy, in the whole of the Vatican. So I just wanted to mention that piece of history, and it was just wonderful to go up that dome and to see the view of the Vatican City, of Rome, and just to explain this history, because it's very significant. Rome split into two in the 3rd century, and when the Western Roman Empire ended in 476 AD, the Eastern Roman Empire continued for another 1,000 years, almost 1,000 years. And then it was ended by the Ottomans, the glorious Ottoman Empire in 1453. You also have another golden ball, which is up there, which also signifies world domination, global domination. So right now we are here at the St. Peter's Basilica, which is the most important church, especially as far as Catholic churches go. When you're walking in, they've designed it in such a way that it's still, everything is being revealed as you take a step forward. With each step, there's a reveal, especially in terms of the dome. And it reminds me of something that I'm quite big on, which is today, with modern structures, you see tall, glassed, soulless buildings that are mundane, that are boring, that are being lauded and that are being praised. And many people, especially in the Gulf region, for instance, are competing with one another in building these tall, soulless, pathetic buildings. But when you come to classical structures, they have used materials that are proper materials, not concrete, but proper materials like marble, like stone. And you come over here and you're just perplexed and you are astonished by the sort of architects that would have been around in that time. And it's all done through hands. Nowadays, the reason why things are so soulless is because everything is done with a balance sheet in mind. As you can see, there's a list of the popes that have existed from the very beginning to currently. And Pope Benedict XVI was the one who met with our spiritual leader, Sultan al-Awliya Mawlana Sheikh Muhammad Nazim Adil Al-Qani, Qaddasallahu Sirruh, and they met in Cyprus when Pope Benedict XVI was there for a visit of about 4 days in the year 2011.
Thank you. Very happy. Very happy. God bless you. God bless you. Pray for me.
I pray for you.
I am so old one.
I am also old.
And this area is my home. Yes, yeah. Behind this church, my house. I am going, subhanallah. One day I am meeting His Royal Holiness to be here. That is what's surprising event. Subhanallah.
Greetings to our brothers and sisters from Sunnah, please. God bless you.
Good one.
This is from His Highness to your Holy Highness.
So right now, I'm facing the St. Peter's Square, and this is Vatican City, which is the world's smallest country. Now, you don't need to show your passport to come over here. You just need to walk into the Vatican. And if you want to come here to St. Peter's Basilica, which is the most important church in the Christian world, then you need to go through security, but it's very simple. You just need to put your items through a machine. But this is quite fascinating because to be in the world's smallest country, considering how many countries there are, is something. It's quite something. So as you may be aware, Rome, the Roman Empire split into two in the 3rd century. And then there was Western Rome and there was Eastern Rome. West Rome, the capital is Rome. East Rome, capital Constantinople, which then became Istanbul for about 4 centuries when Fatih Sultan Mehmet conquered Constantinople in 1453, which means a place of Islam. Istanbul is the name. And then in the last 100 years, it was turned into Istanbul. But what's interesting is that both these Western Rome, Eastern Rome, has these obelisk that was given by the Egyptians. So you'll find this in Istanbul, where the Hippodrome used to be, and you have one over here in the center of St. Peter's Square. Now, what's super fascinating and interesting is that this obelisk is from the year 2000 BC. So that means it's 4,000 years old, and it's provided by an unknown pharaoh. And the thing that's quite unique and different about this obelisk is that it doesn't contain or consist of any hieroglyphics. So it doesn't have that. And it's interesting why this is in both of the capitals of West Rome and East Rome. Now it is believed, and why this is significant and why this is situated in the place that it's situated in is because this is where it's believed that St. Peter was martyred. Hence why this obelisk is in this position, in the center of St. Peter's Square. Okay, I'm going to give you about 5 facts about the Vatican City so that you get an idea about this quite interesting place. Now, Vatican City is the smallest country, smallest state in the whole planet, and it's only about 110 acres, which makes it smaller than many of the city parks that you find around the world. Second fact is that Vatican City is the home of the Pope. So he is the head of the Catholic Church. Third fact is that the Vatican is a city of art and history as well. And the Vatican has its own economy and postal system. So you will see on the sides these yellow post boxes where you can send postcards from. Now what's interesting also is that the Vatican has 800 to 900, some have said even 1,000 citizens, but only 450 of them have a citizenship in the Vatican City. So that's quite interesting. It just tells you how small this place is. So the residence of the Pope is over there, I'm pointing. And the reason I'm mentioning where the Pope's residence is, there's an interesting story I wanted to mention. The son of Fatih Sultan Mehmet II, who conquered Constantinople on the 29th of May, 1453. He ended the Eastern Roman Empire and he ended the Roman Empire. But his son went in a battle between himself, Jem Sultan was his son, and his other son was Sultan Bayezid. Sultan Bayezid became the successor of Sultan Mehmed II. But Jem Sultan was then captured by some crusaders in Rhodes Castle. And then he was brought over here to the Pope at the time, at the back end of the 15th century. And initially he was in Castel San Angelo, and then he was brought over here to the Vatican. And he stayed with the Pope, but he was being kept over here. Jem Sultan, the son of Sultan Mehmed II, he had a friendship with one of the French kings at the time by the name of King Charles. And so King Charles commanded the Pope to hand over Jem Sultan to him, to France. But he disagreed. And then this led to King Charles declaring war against the Pope, which was the first time this had ever happened in the Christian world. So quite an interesting past history I wanted to mention. Perhaps you may not hear this story when you watch other videos, but I was like, let me share something a little bit different so that you get a different experience of watching Vatican videos. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for further such amazing, cool content.